Everything happened so fast.
He said them taking him into surgery, he said, but I ain't gonna say he's gonna come back out.
There's a chance he wouldn't make it or be brain dead, and there's still that chance when it fails.
It's just those words you never want to hear.
So I guess that's why my heart kind of reaches out to them and wants to help them in the tiniest little bit that I can.
You know, I just kind of thought, that can't really be right. Somebody comes in and does your, whole room. And it was.
That's really something.
We have Nick, who's 20, Catalina, who's 18, Dylan, who's 15, and then Aidan was our little surprise, and he's 6. He's definitely one of a kind, thank God. There is so much good, though, that comes from him.
He's just a neat little kid.
He loves tractors.
I always tell him John Deere's are the best. He don't like that.
If he's around my dad, he has to wear his cowboy boots and like a Western shirt.
He has to be organized, his toy tractors have to be in certain spots. Just the way it is.
If you mess up that routine, he is off for the whole day.
Can always make you laugh, that's for sure.
He makes me laugh every day. Some days he wants to make me scream, but I can tell you every day there is something that he does that makes me laugh.
Oh yeah, don't owe me.
His grandpa is his best friend.
Oh, those two. Aidan can do no wrong in my dad's eyes.
But he's always there for me.
I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain.
We'll sit there sometimes, we'll sit in the truck for like 2 hours, we'll sit in there and talk. Just sit there and talk. He makes my day.
It's become my dad's life since my mom passed away, I think it's hard to be a widow and be alone, but Aidan's kind of brought that life back to him and to be able to love again.
Aidan seems to me like he's an old soul. He really does.
He can be a handful at times, but he's worth all of it. So, one point at his 4-month well-child checkup, he was not even on the thing for his head. His head was so little because he was a premature. And around his 5th month, I started noticing his head was getting larger, and I would say to everybody, don't you think his head looks big? And being a nurse, you kind of always set yourself back and be like, I'm not going to take my kid in for that. And then the one day we were at getting groceries at Hy-Vee, and the little girl said, Mom, what's wrong with that baby? He looks funny. And I thought, you're right, he does look funny.
Aidan was diagnosed at 6 months old with hydrocephalus, which is extra fluid on the brain. So he, at 6 months old, had brain surgery and had a shunt put in.
When I got the news, I dropped everything in my hand. And I was just holding Aidan thinking, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then I carried him back, and that's an experience in itself. When you carry somebody back and okay, this could be the last time I'm handing my child over to you, and he might be the last time I see him alive.
I was really worried about him that day, when he went into surgery up here, and the doctor told me he didn't know if he'd come back out or not.
My heart dropped, he's 6 months old. I'm 13, and it's what can I do? There's nothing I can do.
But 16 hours later, he went home.
I remember it was only 2 hours or something like that, the surgery, but it was literally the longest 2 hours of my life, probably.
Our neurosurgeon told us, don't think if Aidan needs another surgery, think when.
Now it's always the worry of when he has to have another one, is he gonna remember all the special bonds that we had throughout? So it's really tough.
We know he'll have memory loss, so I don't know how far back that will go. If he'll have to restart and relearn everything. That is probably the scariest part.
Kind of just had us all take a step back and put into reality there's a lot more to life than just sports and this and that, and I think it helped us all realize how important family is, and it makes us cherish family.
We all love Disney World. That was where he got his Make-A-Wish trip. He was 3 at the time, and that was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. The one day I get this envelope in the mail and I seen Make-A-Wish, and I'm like, what is this? Aidan was granted a Make-A-Wish, and I started crying.
Where they had everything set up for us and we didn't have to worry about going to this doctor appointment or what the result of this test is, or is he going to be all right today.
You walk into this place and they tell Aidan, now once you're here, you are the boss. You get this pin and you decide everything. I think he kind of took that literally because he still thinks to this day that he is the boss. Aidan was afraid of the princesses at first until he got up close. The first one kissed him, which he just thought was great. He had lipstick on his cheek and he was just so, could not believe it, loved every minute of it.
I think me and him rode the Dumbo ride like 15 times in a row that day, just on and off.
He used to ride it a lot. Remember we used to go over and over and over?
We were getting off Dumbo and a man and his 2 sons came up to us and he said, I see you're from Make-A-Wish. And he said, that is very near and dear to our heart. I had a little girl, he said, their little sister, and she died of leukemia. And this is where we came for our wish trip. And he said, does Aidan have Mickey Mouse ears? And I said, no, but we plan to get something. He said, I would like to go in and pay for them for you in memory of my daughter. And from that point on, I thought, this is what we're meant to do. We're meant to pay it forward.
This is just a family that has gone through an awful lot. They are always the first ones to step up and help the other families when they're in need. And Aidan is a special room here because for the first time I had received an anonymous letter, a beautifully written anonymous letter from somebody that knows the family and just expressed what a deserving family and what a deserving child Aidan is. I normally don't make a cold phone call to a parent, but I called his mom, Lynn, and explained to her about the letter and read it to her, and she was very touched by it.
Now that Aidan has been nominated for Special Spaces, it's like, oh my God, there's been 4 families that I know that have had these rooms. And so I keep thinking, are those the ones that wrote the, and I've asked them all, but they're not owning up to saying that they are the ones that wrote the letter.
It's kind of hard taking it, you know. It's like, do we deserve it, you know?
Aidan seems to be doing fine now, but he's been through so much already, and a lot of people might not recognize how much he's been through, and I think that he is more than deserving of it.
I think he's going to be really excited. His dream bedroom is a farm-themed room with Alice Chalmers tractors.
Yeah, anything farm. Maybe a farm bed or, you know, just farm pictures, and that's what he wants.
I don't think Aidan really truly understands what is going to happen until he sees that room. I think then finally it'll hit him like, oh, this is what they're doing.
The day of makeover is a really exciting day because myself and Kathy will show up, and then our team of volunteers will come in, and we'll have already purchased everything and have it all ready to go and kind of have our vision. And we really just kind of break it into smaller teams then, and each team takes care of what they're in charge of, and from about 9 or 10 in the morning to about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, we make our magic happen in the room, and then we make a big deal about the reveal. They open the door so we get their first reaction to the room.
There's a tractor coming out of your wall. Oh my goodness.
What they started with and what this room has become is absolutely beyond our wildest dreams. He's gonna love this, cherish this forever.
There's tractors coming out of the wall, there's orange and Alice Chalmers everywhere, and it's just so amazing and so over the top, so much more than I could have ever expected.
We're just thrilled that the family's happy, and Aidan is going to have his, really spectacular farm and tractor room.
It just amazes me that this little Dubuque, it has all these people that are willing to donate their time and services, and that they're able to do this room in a day.
Thank you.